Here we're asked, are the following pairs of expressions equivalent? And explain how you know using at least two different methods. So for the first one here, I'm going to go ahead and use division here to just kind of double check. There's lots of ways that we can go through this. If I were to use division here, x squared plus 1, how many times does that go into x squared minus 1? Well, we would have to say it goes in one time, and we bring this down and subtract, and this gets 0, and this would get -2, which is my remainder here. And so really what we get here is 1 minus 2 over x squared plus 1. And so in this one here, that is not equal to -1. So when I divide, it doesn't simplify to the same thing. The other thing that I could do is I could technically factor this, because that's a difference of squares on the top. This becomes x squared plus 1. And there's no simplifying that I can do. There's nothing that I can do with this to help minimize it or simplify it to getting to -1. So again, not equal to -1. Another thing that we could do is if we just plug in a number, right? If I were to plug in, let's say 3, that would be 9 squared minus 1. Sorry, 9, not 9 squared, because 3 squared. And then 9 plus 1. 9 minus 1 is 8 over 10. That's not equivalent to -1. So that's 3 ways, but just plugging in numbers is usually a good way to kind of test it. Every once in a while, you'll get unfortunate and get a lucky one when it doesn't actually work out. But when we're going through this here, the other one, I'm going to also use division. I'll change up colors here. So how many times does x minus 1 go into 3x plus 2? And I got to go in 3 times here, so that becomes 3x minus 3, because I'm just multiplying these two together. And then I'm subtracting this whole thing here. 3x minus 3x is 0. 2 minus a -3 is 5. So that's my remainder. So then I have 3 plus 5 over x minus 1, which we do see that it matches up exactly. So it is equivalent. If I wanted to check some other things, I could try plugging in some numbers. So, let's plug in 2. So 3 times 2 plus 2 over 2 minus 1. That gives me 6 plus 2 over 1. So that gives me 8. Now I plug it in here. Then I got 3 plus 5 over 2 minus 1. So that's really just 3 plus 5, which we see that they are the same.